Welcome to the meeting room at Global TV Talk Show, a broadcast service of globalbusinessnews.net.
This episode from the meeting room of Global TV Talk Show is brought to you by
The Bridge School, the accredited international online private school of choice, at bridgek12.org.
Porch Light Rental and Destination Services. Reduce your renter lump sum or managed relocation costs. Visit them at porchlightrental.com.
And by airs.com. With our full range of services, we can help design and manage your international relocation. Find us at airs.com.
Primestone Partners, featuring corporate, government, and developer housing solutions, as well as senior-level advisory services. Find them at primestonepartners.com.
And by International Auto Source. We are the vehicle experts for expats, featuring all major brands of automobiles with flexible solutions and financing. On the web at intlauto.com.
Become a global player in your field.
Cross Culture to Go provides virtual support for your global business and career success.
We can help you thrive in 140 plus countries and markets.
On the web at crossculturetogo.com.
This is Ed in San Diego, California. The time is a little after 8 a.m. It's a cloudy day. Maybe a change of seasons coming here. It's been 90, 85, 90 Fahrenheit. And today it's going to be in the upper 60s, just to give you an idea of change, just like that. I'll do it here. Change. No, seasons are changing, even in Southern California. This is about Helma International. Welcome, ladies. And we're focusing in on India and La France. With us is Pri, Desara, and Elisa. Pri, let's go to you. Primavada Majumdar. I hope I didn't butcher that too much. You've been with Helma International 12 years, and you are head of global partnerships, training. You manage all kinds of functions for the organization, including household goods and outbound. You're a certified cross-cultural trainer. What did I leave out, Pri?
That sums it up a bit. That sums it up all, Ed. I also help with the quality management for Helma in service excellence, because Helma has been certified both the ISO 9001 as well as the EURA quality seal. So we have to maintain certain protocols and procedures. So I assist the quality manager with that. Yes.
Okay, now let's go to Elisa Keddy, who's India country manager. So you're a French national living in India for 15 years, is that right?
Yeah, what to do, yeah, true, absolutely true. So being a foreigner in India is great as well, you know.
Yeah, so are there a lot of French people in India?
Yeah, in fact, depending where, but obviously Pondicherry is where we are most of French people, around 6, 7, 8,000, something like that. I think Priam is from Pondi, so she knows better. In bigger town like Delhi, we are 2,000 French people, Bombay 1,000, Bangalore 1,000. So, you know, not as much as American people probably, but yeah, quite a few numbers.
So I understand you're an expert and a devotee of yoga.
I try to, I pretend to. Result is, I will say, at your discretionary power, shall I say, to speak like a mobility. Like I try to, but it is true that, to be honest, it's only when I came to India, but I was looking at all this yoga thing when I was in France, thinking, what is that? Again, something like that. And then when you try it, you know, even you realize that, in fact, it does bring a lot to you. And for people who are still skeptical about that, I just don't behave like me. Just do it before judging into anything. It's really great. It's really great.
So it's helps you with breathing and stress reduction, among other things.
Absolutely, and absolutely. And I teach that to my daughter who is going to school and is stressed about that. So somehow it's some techniques that you go, and yeah, it does help you in every way. It's not only about sport, it's just a way of living, in fact. I'm not a total yogi into everything, but the few things I'm learning from there, even for delivering a baby, it helps you. I did a lot of natal yoga, if you want to know. So it does help really a lot.
So wait, no, I got to go back to that. You're teaching a baby how to do yoga?
No, not teaching, just breathing exercise. Not teaching, not teaching yoga. No, I'm not so good. But yeah, at least a breathing exercise to take out the stress, to think about something else, and be more cool about things. Yeah, it does help a lot. The breathing exercise, yes.
So I guess if that, I'm sure it's a visualization thing, and so maybe it's a stress reduction, and they don't cry as much.
Mm. Yeah. I wish I can say yes, but I've not reached this point yet. But probably yes. But I like to cry. I mean, I like to cry. I don't like to cry, but I do cry. It's a way of expressing. What can I do? Better to express it than to suppress it. So
Okay, we'll come back to all this. So Tessara, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
So did I say your name right?
Yes, Desara, yes.
So you're head of immigration for Helma International. We're going to get into that in a deep dive, but I understand you have a master's degree in political science and sociological studies.
Right.
That's just perfect for this job, isn't it?
Well, there is no perfect diploma, but I was doing my thesis on the immigration of the elite of the educated people, and trying to compare, what are the politics in France and Canada. When I was, and while I was doing this thesis, I was looking for a job, part-time job as a student, and I found this summer job in 2004. And I worked a summer. Then the next summer they called me back and they proposed me the position. And then, yeah, here I am since 2006, working as a full-time in this domain.
So Ghislaine and I met a long time ago. I think he attended our Paris meeting in '99, as a matter of fact. But he's very forward thinking for sure. And our company has produced over the years probably 10, I don't remember right now, but pretty close to 10 or more Paris meetings. And I think Helma has been in almost all of them, if not all. Different people at different times. Political science today in the EU and sociological must be, I'm sure it is totally impacted by the pandemic and how people are reacting, how governments are reacting. And that's leading to the discussion of the vax passport. So I have, I'm going to show you mine right here. So this is my passport here. And right here is our card. And it says, hey, I got 2 Moderna shots, right? And upcoming is the booster, which is in about
already.
Yeah, I volunteered right away. Actually, Joanne and I were one of the first in line last winter to test us. We're in, and so real happy about that. And nothing ever happened, no after effects, but certainly a good feeling of liberation and some safety. But even now, go outside, not walking around, but you go into a supermarket or something in an enclosed area where there's all kinds of people. I have won that. And so anyway, let's talk about the Vax passport and how it relates to your job.
Well, it's it's pretty new, this passport, the Vax passport that is coming into force recently in France. So we do not know yet how this will be perceived and applied for our clients, because we will have most probably a lot, yeah, at least the half of our clients that will not have the right vaccine done. So they will not be able to have Vax Pass. And we do not know how their managers, the mobility teams, and the employees themselves will react, will do in their everyday life, because it will be complicated in everyday life. I received a message yesterday, I think, from one big shop that is called Fnac in France, and it was saying, like an advertisement, Fnac in Bercy, this area of Paris, is not requiring the Vax Pass for its customers. So I guess in terms of economic development, also different shops or malls, or I don't know, they will also try to be more flexible, and maybe the French government will have to be more flexible and to review how they apply it.
So that means everybody else is going
to
that means everybody else is going to mask up because there's too many unvaccinated people around for my comfort.
Yes, you have to be masked up every time. I mean, it's in France, you have to wear your mask even if you have your pass, your Vax pass. But it is required. The issue we have is that we will have, for example, clients coming from India with the Covishield vaccine that is not recognized in Europe and in France, and these people cannot have the Vax pass. They cannot go in restaurants, they cannot go in museums, they cannot go to some malls that will require the Vax pass. So we do not know yet how this will be dealt with from different mobility teams and the assignees themselves.
So, Elisa, how come that vaccine from India is not recognized in Europe?
Fact, there are different type of vaccine. There are different brand of vaccine. So what I think this you're talking about is probably the Covaxin, which is the Indian vaccine, but because the Covishield, which is the AstraZeneca, has been recognized. Priam, if I'm not wrong, has been recognized by European Union. It is the Covaxin. It's the Covaxin which has not been recognized. So the problem is that in India there was a shortage of vaccine, so different people got different type of vaccine. I believe we even have a Sputnik, and we even have I don't know if you have something else yet, not yet as of now. But so out of all these vaccines which are available in India, only one is recognized, which is the Covishield, which allows you to go into European Union and potentially have whatever pass you need. But not everybody is getting it. And for that, you need to register, do a lot of files, and go to the agence médicaments. So I don't know what it's called in English, like, the institution where you can get recognized. It's a lot of paperwork and tests are redone. So it takes a bit of time. It will come at one point of time, I believe, but not yet.
Yeah. Yes. Pri, what's happening in India right now?
So the good news is we seem to be at the tail end of the peak that we saw in May, which was rather devastating. It is the Delta variant, that created mass devastation in India in April and May. We are at the bottom of the peak for most regions, except for the state of Kerala. A little bit, I think, if I can compare it with the US, it's a bit like Florida, where I think the national numbers are spiked because of one state. They are handling it quite well. However, the numbers are very high. They are contributing to 70% of the total number of infections of India. So, which means two things, Ed. The good news, however, is in the metros like Bombay, Delhi, Bangalore, Chennai, Kolkata. The consulates have opened up, and now assignees and corporates are beginning to go for the application so that they can now travel abroad for their assignments. That's the good thing. However, just as Desara and Elisa mentioned, there is a vaccine disparity, you know, because, for instance, first the AstraZeneca brand that made, India made AstraZeneca vaccine called Covishield was not recognized by the European Union, but was recognized by WHO. So US accepted it, but not the EU. So it took a little bit time for the EU to get it. Now, Covaxin, which is the Indian-made one, is not accepted in most European countries, but accepted in Hungary. So, there is no much logic to it. As of this morning, Ed, I found out that Lufthansa and Singapore Airlines have started the vaccinated travel lines in airports. So all vaccinated passengers will go in that line, so they don't have to do certain checks and quarantines. So perhaps we are seeing a world where, at least for travel, for international travel and in airports, there might be a special line for vaccinated people. But again, as Desara mentioned, the disparity continues. So Indian students going to the US, Ed, even though they are vaccinated with Covaxin, the Indian vaccine, they have had to take Pfizer because it's not recognized in the US. And there is a lot of anxiety amongst Indian parents because we don't know how a combination of a Covaxin with a Pfizer will react in the body. There is no previous study about it. That's the.
So does anybody know? Any doctors, scientists, know what the combination of the vax might do? Or
no, the thing is that that the admissions in the US is in fall, so which is by 10th or 15th of September, international students have to join universities. And if universities do not recognize the vaccine, the only way to come to class is to accept a US vaccine. So Indian parents have already taken loans. They have gone through the admission process. So they're going ahead. And I suppose that the same applies for assignees. You've gone through the whole harrowing process of getting the H-1B. You're just going to take the Pfizer or the Moderna.
That's really strange, isn't it? Because that is more than a personal choice. It's impacting everything, and you're being singled out like the other, not rather than belonging. It's the exact opposite of the sense of belonging.
Yeah, that's the limit of our global world. You see, finally, we may think that we are in a global world, but we are not. We are not, and disparities are somewhere showing somewhere, and here it is. Because in India, you don't have a choice. You took the vaccine, you could. That's all. If you wanted to be vaccinated, you just take what is available. I mean,
correct.
That's crazy.
And you see the difference. You have the availability of the booster. France doesn't have yet, because both Desara and Elisa were surprised when you spoke about the booster shot. And India, we don't know when that's coming or when children will get vaccinated. We are hoping it will happen by winter, but we don't have a date as yet. So yes, there is a disparity, and it is challenging for innovation. Yes.
In France, they just started the booster since it will start from tomorrow. for people who are 65 plus with comorbidities and all this kind of thing, but only for fragile people, not for everybody. So it's slowly starting. But bon, takes some time.
So let's talk about housing. In the US, I'm sure you've read that it's been an explosion of price inflation on housing. Not so much in rentals, although they're fairly high. It's not as much of a boost as in home prices in the metropolitan areas. Not so much the rural areas. So at any place where there's companies and jobs within like a 50-mile radius, the more outlying areas booming in terms of the value of property skyrocketing. This is resulting in, of course, it's great if you own it, but transferees have been having a hard time qualifying for the new mortgage. And so they're being forced to rent. And so the rental prices of homes, not just temporary apartments, those are now going up. And so there's so many issues, so many conflicting problems happening in the US. And it's a nightmare, a big headache for the corporate community and the relocation management companies that are trying to help solve it. So have you seen that, Pri?
So in Bangalore and in Bombay as well, it has been a little bit different, Ed, because a lot of us corporate workers, we are still working remotely. We are not digital nomads, but we are working remotely, which means we have made a choice to work from our hometowns. Not me perhaps, but there is a huge employee population who have come to the metros for work, and now that they don't have to go to the physical office, they are logging in back from their homes, which means they are no longer renting out the apartments or the houses in the metros, which means that there are more and more to-let signboards, which has driven down the rental cost. We believe that this might be temporary, and when the offices open, there will be a huge boom, but we are yet to see that. In terms of expats, I don't see a difference in cost, but Elisa will be able to tell you more about it. But we have had pressure from HR to reduce the annual increment. So Elisa will have a better idea about expats.
As we are less and less expats in India, for sure. A lot of people have left and not come back. The academic year has already started in several towns in India, so I don't see expats coming in volumes like we used to have before next year. So clearly all this expat area, the gated communities and all that, clearly you have more negotiation power. Where I was surprised is that though with a better negotiation power, doesn't mean that the landlord sometimes they don't want to rent to a lower price because they feel it's better it goes for 1 year. Maybe they are enough money and they don't need that as a survivor, but they don't want to go a certain rental because otherwise it's too difficult for them to go back. So I have been in a very crazy situation where we know the apartment is empty, but is okay. The landlord is okay to be empty, but doesn't want to go certain below. So negotiation is still tough, though we were able to realize for certain of our clients, we had a deal where we were able to negotiate on the rental. And it was okay, but to maximum 20-30% maximum, not more than that. Not more than that. I think what will be really what we need to see is the rental for office. for offices, because a lot of, as Priyam was mentioning, a lot of companies are working, people are working from home, and clearly the concept for one seat, one employee will go. We will have to have more creative way of having office with workspace, meeting area, and all this kind of thing. But one seat, one employee is gone. So no need to have huge campus like we used to have in Bangalore, I feel.
Interesting, isn't it? Boy, I wonder what they'll do with all that space. I guess they can make more housing, but
More garden.
yeah, I don't know.
We interrupt this broadcast to bring you a timely announcement.
Hi, I'm Sergei Gorbatov.
I'm Angela Lane.
Together we're researchers, writers and practitioners in the field of human resources.
And we've also been multi-country, multi-assignment career expats.
We owe our professional development and growth to a very large extent to the international assignment opportunities that we have had.
But in a world where distributed work may become the norm, we also want to understand what will happen to the nature, duration, and purpose of international assignments.
Together with our colleague, Julian Dalzell from the University of South Carolina, we're undertaking a study on the future of expatriation.
And we'd value your contribution. You can participate in this important study by completing a simple 10-minute questionnaire.
Access the questionnaire by typing in your browser tinyurl.com/expert study. That's tinyurl.com/expert study. You can also find the link here on Ed's website next to this video.
Thank you for joining us in this study. In return for your contribution, we'll provide you with a copy of our research.
And of course, you'll be invited to an exclusive webinar hosted by Ed, where we will share our findings right here on Global Business News.
And so please go to tinyurl.com/expat study. Take the survey so that we can better understand the future of expatriation.
Something that's really neat is that the Bridge School partners with various organizations to provide learning for their students. For example, we partner with a major ballet company, and we are able to enroll several of their students into our school. So now not only is the student able to participate in a school and have a seamless transition while they're very active in their ballet career, but now they have other dancers that are with them that are doing some of the same courses. So it's almost becoming a camaraderie where they're taking similar courses, they're working together on their ballet, and really being able to form this great partnership with these organizations to provide a needed service. A lot of times there are student athletes who will spend hours and hours at the gym or at the basketball courts, wherever it is. And if they're attending a traditional school, they're in school from 8 to 3. They get a quick snack, and then they're at the gym for 3 to 4 hours in the evening. Coming to us and having that partnership, they're able to break that up throughout the day. They can have a morning practice, get some schooling in, have an afternoon practice, finish their schooling in the evening. So there's that flexibility. And additionally, if there are tournaments or performances, it's fantastic because if there's a week where they have shows straight through, they can take that week off of learning and then pick back up when they're done. So it offers this great flexibility. And for the program owners of these sports leagues, it is a win-win situation for them because they see this need. They see this need that their students need to make sure that they are obtaining the grades necessary to be successful adults in our country and in other countries. But it provides them an environment where they can be successful at both.
So Desera, tell us about how people are reacting, personally. What do you see with your specialty and social psychology as it relates to business. Is it the same EU-wide? I can't imagine that, because every country, every neighborhood is different.
Yeah.
So there's, but there must be some similarities. What do you think?
In terms of what? In terms of
The behavioral aspects of business opening up, schools, September, is
yeah.
the end of summer.
Mm.
Usually is a rush of action
Yeah.
between August 31 and September 2 is
September
like,
too.
whoa, like somebody woke up the city.
Yeah, it has it is like that. But in Europe, I think the difference started since last year with the different approaches that different countries had regarding the COVID and the different measures. Those people that were opened and that were doing already class outside, and France and other most of European countries that closed everything, and people and children were staying home. Awful period. I only have one daughter, but it was the worst period of the of the year, because you have to work and to take care of your child, and yeah. So the difference in the different countries was during since last year. And now in France, they are doing it step by step. You never know when it will be opened, and what level of health measures will be taken. I received yesterday the email from the kindergarten saying that only one parent is allowed to go, because we are at amber stage level 2, or I don't know what, of the health measures. So only one of them. So we have to find out who is going to win the to accompany the little one to her first day. But yeah, the situation is different. So in France, it's going every day by every day. So you cannot say what will be done in next week. It's becoming very difficult in terms of economic development, and all companies are really thrilled to start working. But with all the measures that are taken in terms of opening the borders, and these measures of the COVID, of the vaccine, as I said, in France, you have the countries listed by color. You have the green area, amber area, and the list zone, where people can apply or not for a visa. And so that makes tells how the situation is in terms of economic development also, because companies are now waiting to see how it will how easy it will be to go forward, to come to a normal work at normal period, and how they can employ people, and make a better a better rentability and a better progress of their company. But yeah, it's I cannot tell for Europe, but in France, it's now being quite yeah, this rush period of the two last days before school starting. It is you can see it on shop, and people going back and forth wearing masks all the time, but still going to complete, and happy to be happy that children can go to school. That's the happiest thing, because we were all afraid that this would not be possible for this new year. So yeah, let's see how in the next days it will be changing, hopefully in better. But
So,
Yeah.
so to Sarah, going back to some of the things that you just commented on, if I may, and if you don't like what I'm asking, just redirect me, okay? So, how did you help your mental health during the stressful period whereby you're a mom, you're in the house, you have household responsibilities or wants, better word than responsibility, but and then you have your child and you have partner, spouse, and your own personal desire. And that, I mean, I would like to think that yoga might help you escape,
Yeah.
but what what mental health tips do you recommend here for others?
I don't know. Unfortunately I
I
don't do
could tell. I
yoga.
could tell. Oh my God.
I don't do yoga. I should have.
Ed, we have a common answer with three ladies here. I think the answer is our husbands know that. I told you that at the beginning.
Yeah.
We put out all our frustration on our spouse. That's all, finished. That's what spouse
Yeah.
are.
We're happy. I mean, very lucky to have this counterpart that would also help with children, etc. But it was a very stressful period, very stressful, and the mental health. I don't know. I don't do yoga. I wish I had. I used to do it during this period, but doing the workload. The workload, because I'm working with clients and you have to answer to clients and you have to reassure clients that even if everything is closed and the police office is closed, don't worry, your paperwork will be done. I don't know when, but don't worry, it will be done. So you have to assure them and to watch what is happening if the ministry is issuing a new extension of documents, etc. At the same time, you have your child and you have to go through the Three Little Pigs for the 15th time of the day, of the morning sometime, and try to participate to the 2 phone calls, that 2 team meetings that are set up, and arrange with your partner when are your meetings and when are mine, who's taking care of the little one, who's very stressful period, very stressful. I mean, we were all looking forward to the end of it, and it took a while to recover. To not we were not back to normal. I mean, even now, because the fact that you are partly, covered, hidden, it's not it's not natural. It's not normal. So. Besides, but my only luck is that I have this little child that it's bringing me a lot of joy and the cuddles, and this is enough to help me with my mental health. But I unfortunately I do not have other opinions or issues.
Yeah. So I
forget
want to
about
change
it.
the subject a little bit, okay?
Yeah.
And so, ladies, when you're wearing masks a lot, when people are wearing masks a lot, are you seeing different or strange looking eye makeup?
Strange.
Well, because your face is covered except for the eyes, you know.
Yeah.
So are people wearing different eye makeup to be distinctive?
They're just wearing fancier masks.
Yeah.
I've seen the really, really fancy masks, with messaging, or the ones that match clothes, or branded masks. So there were a lot of events, even mobility events, where they did the branding on the mask.
Really?
So that is something we have seen. Not so much the eye makeup. I think at least at the start of the pandemic, when we were just trying to figure things out, people were, in catch-up mode. Now it's a year on. I think people are beginning to realize that we might have to live with this for a bit. So why not make a fashion statement out of it? So that's where we are at.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of different banks, and I was amazed on the different brands. We can see also in all these sportive activities and etc. But I was on vacation out of France, so traveling, and you can see, people with all these brands and message and colors that I had not seen. I mean, I had seen the standard ones like pink, yellow, but I saw the stripped ones, and so funny actually. It was funny to see new things, but yeah, we have
Yeah,
to deal with these masks for some time, so we better be funny.
right, right. So, Pri, thank you for helping me organize this. I think it's been a personal and enlightening dialogue here. What do you think?
Absolutely, Ed. It's always, first of all, thank you for inviting us. And as always, it's a pleasure to be on your show. And, it really is a good platform to reach out to a wide audience, industry peers, clients, others in the network. So I'm always happy to have us. And I'm really happy to have Desara and Eliza join me this time.
Yeah, but, hey,
Thank you.
Sarah, nice to meet you, and I love your stories. I'm
Sorry, I've been talking too much.
not at all. I think it's great for the audience. So Elisa, thank you.
Thank
I
you,
know
Ed,
you've had a
for
busy
having us.
day and evening, and here you are.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having us.
Pri, let's do it again.
Yes, absolutely, Ed. And thank you so much.
Okay, so
Thank you.
Helma International. Before we leave, Pri, why don't you just tell us a little bit about smart expatriation as a tool? That it must be really popular these days because it's full of information and easy to use.
Yes, so smart expatriation is a tool that helps what we call does a compensation calculator. So very in simply, if you put in your nationality, your marital status, family size, your designation, and country of residence, and then put in the country that you'll be traveling to with your designation, it will actually let you know what should be the salary, gross and net, that you should get paid for that position, for that family structure, and how much would you be paying in taxes. So what would be your take home salary? Now there's a lot of math and grids that we take into account to do this computation. But this is helpful to two types of people. Ed. There are individual assignees who want to negotiate their contracts with the HR to see whether they are getting a fair deal, especially when they're traveling with the family. And it is also useful for HR to get a benchmark of what they should be paying to their expats and assignees. So it is a very popular tool. We have individuals who just buy the computation. You can do it with a card, very simple payment, and you will get the computation sheet with all the breakup. Or you can get a package for X number of countries where the HR plans to have assignments where they will send their assignees so that they can have a benchmark for all these countries. So that in gist is smart expatriation. And we have a wide network of partners within the mobility industry who help us with information which we then use to compute the compensation.
Great, thank you for that. So Lisa, any parting words?
Sorry, could I hear you?
Yeah, any final statements or
Yes.
thoughts?
No, I just wanted to say yes. Smart expression is really a tool that you should look into because we have been very successful with this tool, and it really gives a good perspective of what Helma is as well. We are not only a relocation company or immigration; we have the full gamut of services. Makes sense when you transfer an employee from A to Z, from one country to another country, to have the understanding of the full services. Even when you do a relocation case, you know how difficult it was to have a budget, to have a package, or it was negotiated. So it gives you a really insight about, oh, you know, you need to follow the rules. Same for immigration, the deadline when we do moving and everything. So I'm really happy about the fact that Helma has all these services. I think give you a really insightful, you know, view of what is really going on with mobility. And thanks again, Edwin, for all the interviews, everything on the mobility industry, because it helps to connect and see that we are not the only one who have the same issue here and there, you know. So thanks to them.
Good,
Thank
good.
you.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you. Be well.
Thank you.
Stay
Thank you.
safe.
Thank you, Edwin.
Thank you so
You
much.
too.
Bye. Nice.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, this is Ed in San Diego, and that is Helma International with Elisa, Desiree, and Pri. Always good. Please come back.
Thank you for joining us in the meeting room at Global TV Talk Show.
Have a wonderful day, and stay safe.